Greetings comic lovers and welcome back to Casually Comics, the channel where we chat all things comics, from reviews of comics new and old to history to anecdotes to really wherever our whims take us. Today, back to J.J Abrams and Son, officially sanctioned licensed Spider-Man fanfic, starring Cadaverous and his love of hot dogs. I'm so stoked. They made me wait an extra month, but I'm here. I'm ready. I'm so prepared for teenage angst and I hope you are too. So sit back, subscribe, and settle in with some of your favorite cliches as we rejoin Ben Parker, the latest of Spider-Man's children to take up the mantle, because this has happened before. The MC2, Mayday Parker, never forget. So for those of you who missed our reviews of issues 1 and 2, firstly, why would you do that? And secondly, of course, I will have cards and links down below. But if you really have no time, for as they say, it is fleeting, well then, Cliff Notes. Peter Parker was fighting a giant villain named Cadaverous on a bridge when MJ ran over like a noob and got skewered and seemingly killed. The jury is still out for us, the reader, but not for the characters in the story. To them, she's dead, Jim. Peter then proceeded to dump their son on Aunt May and run off to be a photographer with a hook for a hand. His son, meanwhile, began developing spider powers when he became a teenager, which he instantly used to show off to a girl he likes named Ito Faye, aka Faye Ito, who has attached herself to him like glue because she loves how he beats people up and goes and does graffiti with her. She also loves how he listens to everything she tells him to do. Last issue ended with Peter coming back because Ben saved one dude when a building collapsed. Just one. The only guy in the building, I guess. It was on TV, so it was seen by Peter and Cadaverous. Issue 3, go! This cover makes me chuckle. I don't fully know why. I mean, I get it. Oh no, ominous Cadaverous robot feet. And Ben is hurt, feel concerned. But at the same time, the way he's lying also looks like the position kids flop onto the floor in when they have a tantrum and burn themselves out. The just leave me here pose. So to me, it kind of looks like he was like, okay, I'm done. I really like the water on it though. It looks dynamic. If you're gonna have water, it better feel like water, and this does. Definitely like this cover more than the cover bait cover of issue 1 where MJ looked like she was just about to slide off into the abyss. So Aunt May and Peter are arguing, while upstairs Ben texts Ito Faye that, oh my god, she needs to come over right now because it's crazy. Aunt May is telling Peter that he should go upstairs and be a father and stop hiding from his son, and that his son is going through some of the same things that he went through and needs him. And then she says she's going to the market and he can be a father. So Peter goes upstairs to try. And I do like the panel of him coming into the room and Ben glaring at him. Pacelli is just really great at capturing teenage sullenness and anger in her drawings. It really comes through, and it makes the Peter Ben stuff really strong. And so the two proceed to have an argument, set off when Peter tries to talk about MJ. Shut up! Protect me? You don't even care about me. Please, please, when I'm away, it's always for you. Ugh. Does anybody ever get the vibe when they're reading certain arguments that the authors just wrote their own arguments? Are these Abrams and Son arguments? Awkward. It's not even up to you what I do. You don't have to come around me. I was afraid of me. I thought I was a monster, and you weren't even here. Ah yes, fear. Sitting quietly in your room after you've ripped a door off its frame. Fear, going out in your father's old costume and proceeding to use the powers to impress a girl that you like either romantically or platonically. Fear, I know it well. Get away from me! Then the room explodes and Ben gets his wish, because if you ever yell at your parents in a fictional work, they are going to get badly hurt, die, or get kidnapped. And in this case, hilariously skewered. Oh my god, is he gonna eat him like a hot dog? Do it. Do it. Oh, I'm sorry. This is traumatizing for Ben. I would never have thought about that if there hadn't been a panel of him eating a sausage off one of his claws. The comic started it. Cadaverous tells Ben thanks for leading him to the key, setting up the potentially dramatic reveal that Peter stopped being Spider-Man for the good of everyone, to protect the world, because he knew he was the key. Ben panics at the thought of losing his parents to the same creature and completely freezes up. When he comes out of it, he's outside his house and Faye is telling him what to do. They need to get to Tony Stark's place. Why? Because he's alive and a hero and MCU and other reasons. Tony, but Tony can't give you a robot hand. You gotta have a hook. Just saying. Also, you're already getting a hint of what kind of Tony you're gonna get because of the models of the Avengers that we saw in the Remember the Fallen, which were very MCU-esque. Get ready. When they get to the building, Faye tries the whole, listen up, if you don't let us in, your boss will be so da-da-da-da-da-da. But it doesn't work because it's a subversion of that cliche, but that subversion is also a cliche in and of itself. It's cliche-ception. As they are removed by security, Riri Williams shows up, saying she dispatched a team to find Ben and that she'll take them to see Tony. Peter is now trapped in one of those vats and Cadaverous is monologuing. But I may heal you like I healed my children. Faye Faye is trying to cheer Ben up by telling him that his father must have super healing, so he's probably fine. What's a skewer through the body between enemies? Riri leads them past an enclave with a whole series of statues honoring the fallen, and Faye briefly forgets what kind of character she is. Riri, Ironheart, new best friend, hello! Is this the same Faye who was sticking it to the man by painting graffiti on buildings that city workers were gonna have to pull off and not the people that she was trying to reach? It's not my Faye. Ben, meanwhile, understandably, is having a crisis. I wanted to be that person, but is this being a hero? Is this what it means? I don't know if it's what being a hero means, but I do know it's what being Spider-Man means. Also, I hope you like Tony from the MCU, and specifically from Iron Man 2, because that's the Tony we're about to get. So a mess Tony Stark. Drunk, can barely focus, pop culture referencing, 100% film version, comic version Tony need not apply Stark. He drunkenly signs Ben's face, because comic relief is when your dad's probably dead and trapped in a vat. Don't destroy my childhood. Don't tell me that's Tony Stark in a man bun. I mean, we saw the Avengers were dead, and presumably they were his friends, and maybe that sent him on a spiral back into his alcoholism and a protective shell, but you know, Ito Faye's perceptions of things. Oh no. Tony pulls it together enough to kind of explain what's going on. He has Cadaverous' schematics. Tony and Riri have that whole eccentric boss and employee who's too good for him thing going on, so yeah. Also, there's a whole panel dedicated to Tony finding that he still has pizza and that there's pineapples on it, and that's hilarious. What a wacky guy. He likes pineapples on pizza. Can we just stop making fun of people who like pineapples on pizza? It's just a topping. There's nothing wrong with enjoying different things on top of different foods. And I'm not just saying that because I'm salty, because I like it. Although that is coloring this rant a little bit. But honestly, let people enjoy food the way they want to enjoy it. It's not worth a whole panel. We have so little time. Talk to me when he's putting, I don't know, pieces of chalk on his pizza. Savory and sweet together is not that strange. When you're as salty as me, you need to balance it out. Sorry, yes, here it is. This guy, Cadaverous, which is a stupid name, by the way. Saying it's stupid doesn't make it less stupid. Is mine, it's Stark technology. But he didn't make it, and neither did Riri. And he gets really serious when he learns that Cadaverous called Peter the key. So finally, after pages of hilarity, which hey, humor is subjective, so maybe you may have found it hilarious, Tony finally explains what he knows. He talks of two scientists he knew from back in the day of Stark Enterprises, and come on, trope bingo. Who are they? You already know. They were working on a medicine that they had nicknamed the Key. They were working with scientists who were storing dying people in pods to try and revive them. But every time they got revived, it just didn't work. They came back wrong and angry, dare I say, kind of like zombies. So what had been a medicine came to be known as a toxin, and it had the blood base of Richard Parker, Peter's dad, Ben's grandfather, because of course it did. So they want Peter for his blood. Shocked. Be shocked. Make the appropriate shocked face. I'll go first. Gasp. But don't worry, the scientists we're dealing with here aren't the Parkers. You don't need to feel bad like that. We're dealing with Minka Tross and Ivan Renz. Minka died. Those people in those pods, they killed her almost a century ago. Cadaverous, meanwhile, is unveiling a stopgap measure. You know, to stop Tony from doing whatever it is he's about to do with Ben. Thank you, Peter Parker, for all which now comes is because of you. Zombie, cyborg, Avengers. Okay, that's fun. Can't wait. Sad for Tony. He has to fight his dead friends, whose deaths probably led him back down the path towards addiction, but it's fine. It's funny. He eats pineapples on pizza and has given up on himself. Laugh. This image is great though, especially because it looks like Steve is wearing shorts. Behold, the hot pants of Captain America. So issue 3 is probably my fave so far because it's starting to have a few more answers and the universe is kind of starting to coalesce a little bit. It also makes me want to yell my favorite angsty teen tropes after that argument. All right, come on, let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. But daddy, I love him. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. I learned it from watching you, Dad. Good times. So this comic is fine. Not brilliant, but not awful. And certainly not an original magnum opus. But the beats that it offers are familiar and arranged in a pleasing fashion. Ben's character development is still a standout, and the universe is kind of starting to fill itself in. However, I still maintain that the reviews would be very different had somebody else written it. Say, for example, I don't know, me, because I'm right here. Hey you, random internet girl, write a Spider-Man story, even though you've never written a comic before. Top tier character, do it right now. And then I wrote this. It would be called fanfiction because it is hitting all those beats. Now I steer clear of fanficky as an insult because people tend to use it as interchangeable for badly written, which is inaccurate. If one wants to highlight certain prevalent tropes, that is another affair. But then one must acknowledge that they can be perceived as enjoyable as well as unenjoyable, such as for example here, where they are being enjoyed. Sometimes the veil that is separating this is as simple as perception. This comic is a light, fun romp, but still also potentially the product of backroom deals and glad handing, you know, back greasing and nepotism. It is many things all at the same time, and it has not lived up to the promotion and hype behind it in terms of sales. But I have to say, I'm entertained. Not profoundly changed or appreciating the medium in any enhanced way, but entertained. And that is the first step. Get out of here, Hook Hand Peter. You're not my real dad. Are you loving this series or just kind of about it, not reading it? What are you doing with it? Updated thoughts on Cadaverous' plans for world domination. Would you like some of my salt for your evening meal? I have plenty to spare. Tell me all the things down below. I'm Sasha and thanks so much for watching Casually Comics. Please do all of the YouTube things. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that you never miss a vid. I will of course see you again soon. Bye bye.